The president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moros, offered this Saturday his annual message before the parliament, where he presented the balance of his management of the government during the year 2021. And the former Haitian senator and suspect in the magnicide of Jovenel Moïse, John Joel Joseph, was captured in Jamaica. UK Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer has renewed his calls on Saturday for Prime Minister Johnson to resign during a COVID-19 lockdown continues. From the headquarters of Telesur English in Havana, Cuba, this is From the South. I'm your anchor, Gladys Quesada, and these are the news. President of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro Moros, offered this Saturday his annual report before the National Assembly, highlighting that both the public powers and the Venezuelan people have grown during the year 2021. Maduro announced that after 5 years of economic war, Venezuela recovered the economic path. In the third quarter, the economy achieved a growth of 7.6%, and the institutions project an economic growth of more than 4%. He also emphasized the consumption increase in the families. He said there was a growth of 4.9% in consumption, as well as 8.7% in government consumption. The money in circulation increased to 3.1% of investment, showing economic increase. He also praised national achievements in matters of health, communication, education, and culture. As part of his remarks, President Maduro said that he was there to fulfill his constitutional duties and commitment in front of the legislative power of the nation.
To meet the commitment that I have before the legislative power of the nation. January 15, 2022. When you see how the years go by, you will become aware of how important what we have done is. Deputy members, here I am one more time in front of you. In front of you, who are the real legislators in Venezuela that is representing you here, present today, aware today.
The head of the state expressed that this was the year of consolidation of political peace, strengthening the national dialogue, and of the internal stability of the nation.
Phase 2021, and it was expressed like that a year ago before this National Assembly, was the year of the consolidation of political peace, strengthening of the national dialogue, the strengthening of internal stability of the nation, of the strengthening of the functioning of the public powers and institutions in Venezuela, well beyond difficulties. It was a special year for politics. It was a special year to succeed the conspiracy that's been going on for years, that has pretended and still does today a duality, a destabilization of powers. And the National Assembly became the axis, the epicenter of re-institutionalization and strengthening of public powers and democracy in Venezuela. This is the first major achievement of 2021. You became the center, you became the political epicenter and legislative epicenter of debate of ideas, and the epicenter of freedom, and the epicenter of the functioning of the re-institutionalization necessary of public powers in Venezuela.
The Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, also stressed that in election number 29th of these 22 years, the mega elections for governorship demonstrated once again the unbeatable strength of the electoral system in Venezuela.
For the 29th elections of these 22 years, the mega elections for governorship and mayor's office, it was proven one more time the strength, the undefeatable strength of the electoral system computerized in Venezuela. It was impressive. These were elections that left a political map very balanced, we can say. Now has been completed with the elections in Barinas.
President Nicolas Maduro expressed that it is difficult to face a political process when the nation has so many objective problems created by the economic war.
It is difficult to face a process, a political process, when we have so many objective problems created by economic war of all these years, when we have actually been subject to the greatest attacks that have ever been conducted against Venezuela in 200 years of republic. And in this objective situation, we could actually say, and we can tell the whole people of Venezuela, we have obtained a very good result, a balanced result, a fair, necessary. And now what I ask governors, mayors, is to go outside and do your work. Go and resolve the problems of our people and try to solve the needs of our people. It is your time now.
Maduro also referred to the economic issues such as the value of the national currency, the bolivar, and the increase of oil production.
The economy of the new times is the economy of the future, the coexistence of currencies. In this case, Venezuela has not rejected and will never reject the bolivar currency, but we want the recovery over the basis of real wealth, and we are reaching this step-by-step apparatus. And as to oil production, in December we were able to reach an important figure by reaching 1 million barrels a day with the participation of oil workers. This year we have as a goal to reach 2 million barrels a day to continue contributing to the economy. This is the commitment that I have made to the workers of the oil industry.
In the annual balance to the nation, the Venezuelan president also made reference to the developments in the year 2021, as well as his hope on a well-conducted economic strategy.
We hope that this year, 2022, become a year to maintain this economic growth of the real economy, to stimulate the social economy, a phenomenon that today makes lots of homes in Venezuela quite happy. And into the year 2022 will have to be marked as the year of the strengthening of this economic growth. And this will be the year of the appearance of entrepreneurs in our country, the area of social entrepreneurship, familiar entrepreneurship. There are thousands and thousands of men and women, many of whom are very young, that have become that have become committed in their knowledge and in their work and have become today entrepreneurs in our country, and they go out in the street to offer their products and their goods and services, their capacities of work. And I tell them, and I, and I tell them that this year 2022 we're going to go into an expansion of the credit and finance and support to entrepreneurship. And I am calling the entire bank system, private bank system, to focus on the entrepreneurs and to support them.
And we'll be right back after this very short break, so don't go away. Welcome back. Over 6 months later, the truth about the assassination of the Haitian president Jovenel Moïse has yet to be known. More than 40 people have been arrested, and the most recent capture occurred this very weekend in Jamaica after human rights organizations denounced that the judicial investigation in Haiti to find all those responsible for the assassination is blocked. We have more on the matter in the following story.
A former Haitian senator suspected of being a key player in the assassination of the Haitian president was arrested this weekend in Jamaica, where he is presumed to have arrived since December, a fugitive from justice. John Joel Joseph, a well-known opponent of Jovenel Moïse, is accused by the Haitian police of providing weapons and planning meetings like this one in Florida, where the plot was organized. Last October, also in Jamaica, another key link was captured. Former Colombian military officer Mario Antonio Palacios, who was deported to his country after a stopover in Panama. A coordinated action between Colombia and the United States led him to Florida, where he is now accused of conspiring to kill the president of Haiti. The rest of the mercenaries have pointed to Elias Floro as one of those who knew that the real plan was to assassinate Jovenel Moïse. Also apprehended last week in the Dominican Republic was the Haitian businessman, convicted drug trafficker, and DEA informant Rodolphe Jar, who in an interview with the New York Times acknowledged his contribution of around $130,000 to provide weapons and lodging to more than 20 Colombian mercenaries. He also alleged that he joined the plot because the conspirators claimed to have the full support of the United States. But according to the Times, there is no evidence of an active connection with the U.S. government. However, in Haiti, the investigation did not look into the financial connections of at least 2 Haitian banking institutions that received high amounts from the country, of at least 6 citizens of residents implicated in the assassination. At the time, the FBI raided the house, but no new details have been known about the Ecuadorian-born U.S. citizen Walter Ventimilla, a mortgage and insurance broker who acknowledged that his global capital lending group participated in the financing of a change of government for Haiti, but was not part of the assassination. The FBI has also not commented on the legal status of 2 managers of CTU Security, registered in Miami as the Federal Academy Counterterrorism Unit. Antonio Intriago, an immigrant of Venezuelan origin, and Arcángel Pretelt, a former member of the Colombian Army, native of Cali and resident in Florida, are accused by the Haitian police of participating in the plot of the crime. According to the Haitian National Network of Human Rights, the investigations to find all those responsible have yet to clarify the links between the current Prime Minister Ariel Henry and former official of the Ministry of Justice, who is said to be responsible for coordinating the assassination in real time. Joseph Barrio, still a fugitive, spoke before and after the crime at least 12 times with the current president of Haiti, according to telephone records revealed in September 2021 by the prosecutor Bedford Claude. Dismissed after requesting that the Prime Minister explain this relationship before the court, some sources assured that 4 months after the assassination, The fugitive visited the official residence of the Prime Minister 2 nights without major obstacles from the security guards.
Now we move on to other topics. On Saturday, night riot forces repressed Honduran migrants who were part of the first caravan of the year in the Central American region. The officers fired tear gas against a group of about 600 asylum seekers who were trying to cross the border in Izabal, Guatemala. The public forces justified the use of this type of ammunition with an alleged stone attack by the asylum seekers. The caravan departed from the city of San Pedro Sula, escorted by the Honduran police in hope of crossing safely into Guatemala. Migrant support organizations urged the migrants not to undertake the trip. In 2021, the Guatemalan government stopped a migrant caravan around the same time of the year. We move on to other topics. On Sunday, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern addressed the aftermath of an underwater volcanic eruption in the island nation of Tonga and the tsunami that followed the incident. The eruption Saturday was so powerful it was recorded around the world, triggering a tsunami that flooded Pacific coastlines from Japan to the United States. A 1.2-meter wave swept ashore in the Tongan capital, with locals reporting they had fled to higher ground, leaving behind flooded houses, some with structural damage, and with small stones and ash falling from the sky. Ardern said that boats and large boulders washed ashore after the huge volcano eruption, and that the Tongan capital Nuku'alofa is covered in a thick film of volcanic dust.
Damage assessments are not yet available. However, our High Commission in Tonga advised the tsunami has had a significant impact on the foreshore on the northern side of Nuku'alofa, with boats and large boulders washed ashore. Shops along the coast have been damaged and a significant cleanup will be needed. Nuku'alofa is covered in thick film of volcanic dust, but otherwise conditions are calm and stable. Power has been restored to some of Nuku'alofa and local mobile phones, we're advised, are working. However, I would note that we've not yet received news from other coastal areas of Tongatapu or the outer islands yet.
And we have more stories coming up after this final short break, so stay with us. Welcome back. UK Labour Party leader Sir Keir Starmer has renewed his calls on Saturday for Prime Minister Boris Johnson to resign as the scandal regarding parties held in government buildings during a COVID-19 lockdown continues. Starmer has said that the Prime Minister had lost his moral authority and called for the Tory party to topple him. Sir Keir made his comments as he set out his contract for better health in a speech at the Fabian Society annual conference. Earlier this week, Johnson apologized for going to a Downing Street garden party in May 2020 when the UK was under strict lockdown and people were banned by law from meeting more than one person outside their households. Millions were cut off from family and friends and even barred from visiting dying relatives in hospitals.
The scandal of Partygate, for want of a better word, but what's happened in recent weeks where it's become obvious that whilst the vast majority of the British public were obeying the laws that the government made, the government and the Prime Minister were partying in Downing Street. I think that's added to mental health stress because so many people are now asking themselves, well, why on earth did I do that then, whilst they were doing what they were doing?
In Mexico, health authorities report a new record number of COVID-19 cases, with nearly 45,000 infections registered in the last 24 hours. According to the Secretariat of Health, by the end of Friday, over 44,000 cases of COVID-19 were confirmed, a figure that gave way to a new record of maximum cases counted in one day, this being the third consecutive day in which more than 40,000 cases have been registered. With these numbers, the country accumulates a total of over 4,300,000 cases. In addition, 195 new deaths from the disease were also reported, bringing the total number of deaths to date of 301,307 since the beginning of the pandemic. China closes a city border in Macau amid the spread of Omicron. The southern Chinese city of Zhuhai suspended public bus routes on Saturday after detecting at least 7 cases of the highly transmissible Omicron coronavirus variant there, warning residents not to leave the city. Zhuhai officials have asked residents avoid leaving the city unless necessary, with those who do are required to show negative COVID-19 test results within the past 24 hours. Cities along China's borders are at higher virus risk, either due to the presence of overland transport links or entry of infected travelers from other countries. China is battling a spike of coronavirus outbreaks, including several from the Omicron variant, as the country steps up vigilance against the virus ahead of the Beijing Winter Olympics next month. In Portugal, polling station workers are getting booster vaccines. Portuguese citizens who have been assigned to work at polling stations in the upcoming general elections began receiving their coronavirus booster shots on Saturday. The election is scheduled for January 30th, and the government is still waiting for a decision from the Attorney General on whether voters in isolation or infected with the virus will be allowed to vote and what conditions may need to be applied. The official 2-week campaign period will start on Sunday, though due to the pandemic there will be no large flag-waving rallies usually associated with the build-up of the election. Around 89% of Portugal's population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, but with the Omicron surge, new daily cases have set records of around 40,000 in recent weeks. And we have come to the end of this news brief. But remember, you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. And also, if you feel so inclined, please join us on social media for all the latest news. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. For Telesur English, I'm Gladys Quesada. Thank you for watching.